Watch this before it becomes real life. Assassinating Intelligence, Humanity's Fight for Ethical AI. Global AI Crisis. This is no longer science fiction. The digital storm is real, and already unfolding. Artificial intelligence is advancing faster than our ability to govern it, while many leaders either remain silent or powerless. If we don't act now, this technology won't just change the world, it will erase the very idea of humanity. AI is a nuclear metaphor. Artificial intelligence is like raw nuclear energy, immensely powerful but completely uncontained. Just one error, one greedy shortcut, and the societal fallout could be irreversible. If we learn to regulate nuclear weapons, why are we letting AI run free? Mass layoffs. Pink slips are falling faster than raindrops. From tech to teaching, journalism to retail, AI is replacing jobs at alarming speed. Careers built over decades vanish in seconds of automation. What happens when human skill is no longer needed? More people, fewer jobs, a growing catastrophe. Every month, millions of young people enter the workforce, filled with hope and ambition, only to find that the jobs they trained for have already been replaced by algorithms. As AI automates industries, humanity faces a chilling future, more mouths to feed, but fewer jobs to offer. This isn't just an economic problem anymore, it's a global humanitarian emergency. If governments don't act, they'll soon face billions of jobless, hungry, and hopeless citizens. This isn't a warning for the future, it's happening right now, quietly, quickly, and relentlessly. Without immediate action, global society could collapse into chaos, unrest, and political upheaval that no nation is prepared for. Emotional disconnection. We're constantly connected, yet more emotionally distant than ever. Families sit together without speaking. Screens dominate our attention. And now AI promises to replace even human interaction, depriving us of what truly makes us human: empathy. Kitchen knife analogy. AI is a kitchen knife. In the right hands, it can feed families. In the wrong hands, it becomes a weapon. The difference lies in who controls it, and why. Will we use AI to elevate humanity, or let it cut through the fabric of our society? Assassinating Intelligence. Concept A. AI was meant to help us think, but it's doing the thinking for us. It's replacing creativity with automation, empathy with code, truth with illusion. When AI starts to dominate human thought, it stops being artificial intelligence and becomes assassinating intelligence. Deepfake deception. With one click, any voice can be forged, any video can be faked. Politicians, journalists, even your own family can be impersonated. In the AI age, truth itself is under attack. If we can't trust what we see or hear, what is reality? Fake White House meeting. We've already seen deepfake videos of fabricated government meetings. The danger isn't just deception, it's confusion. When citizens can't distinguish real from fake, trust in institutions collapses. Flood of disinformation. Misinformation now spreads faster than any virus. Lies are automated, weaponized, and global. AI-generated fake news, biased search results, and manipulated videos are drowning the truth and dividing nations. Part 2. If we do nothing. Here's what happens next. Mass unemployment and poverty. When half the world loses work, hunger follows. Entire communities break apart. With no income, no food, and no path forward, despair becomes the only currency. Deep social division. We are rapidly becoming a two-tier society, where the top 1% control the AI, and the rest struggle to survive. This isn't equality, it's digital feudalism. Societal collapse. History shows what happens when injustice builds too long. riots, revolutions, democracies torn apart. The AI age is pushing us toward that breaking point again. Justice breakdown. Imagine a courtroom where fake videos are presented as truth, where AI-generated evidence can't be verified. The very idea of justice will fall apart if we don't adapt our laws now. Healthcare overwhelmed. As unemployment grows, so does depression, anxiety, and suicide. Mental health crises are exploding. Hospitals can't keep up, not because of disease, but despair. Financial chaos, flash crashes, hacked accounts, automated fraud. The entire global economy is now vulnerable to algorithms no one fully controls. One glitch, and the system burns. Rise of AI-driven online scams. Online scams are exploding, and AI is making them faster, smarter, and harder to detect. Deepfake phone calls from fake relatives, phishing emails written with perfect grammar, chatbots that manipulate victims emotionally. This is no longer just cybercrime. It's psychological warfare. As AI tools become more accessible, scammers are impersonating loved ones, authorities, even banks, with terrifying accuracy. The result? Millions are being robbed of their savings, trust, and mental peace. If we allow this to continue unchecked, we're not just risking individual loss, we're inviting global digital chaos. Collapse of learning. Schools are already outsourcing learning to bots. But real education is more than data. It's wisdom, mentorship, humanity. We're replacing depth with shallow efficiency. Tax base collapse. If companies use AI to fire workers, who pays taxes? When the tax base collapses, so does everything that depends on it. Roads, hospitals, public services. Loss of joy in humanity. We're told faster tech makes life better, but it's also making life emptier. What good is progress if it leaves us feeling cold, disconnected, and joyless? Part 3. A call to action. We still have a choice. Government AI regulation. World leaders, your silence is surrender. You were elected to protect people, not just profits. AI must be regulated now, with enforceable ethical standards. Waiting is no longer an option. Delay means disaster. Progressive payroll responsibility tax system. If companies want to use AI to boost profits, they must reinvest in people. A progressive payroll tax would require that 30% to 50% of corporate revenue go toward human salaries, or face penalties. No more silent layoffs. I should enhance jobs, not erase them. The PRAIDE Act. The PRAIDE Act is our proposed lifeline. Progressive Payroll Responsibility, AI Accountability and Digital Ethics Act for human dignity and livelihood protection. It's a new legal framework to protect dignity, jobs, creativity, and the public good. This act isn't anti-AI, it's pro-human. Part 4. The Global Framework. United Action. Global AI Ethics Court. We need a new international legal body, an AI ethics court. This court would investigate deepfakes, digital identity theft, mass misinformation, and automated abuse. The world must not wait for catastrophe before establishing digital justice. Emergency Global AI Summit. The United Nations, G20, and world leaders must convene an emergency AI summit within 6 months. Together we must create unified global standards for AI transparency, safety, and responsibility. AI transparency rights. Every citizen deserves the right to know when they are being judged by an algorithm, to understand why, to challenge it, and to override it. Transparency is not a luxury, it is a human right. Part 5. Final warning. The cost of doing nothing. Stark truth, 99% vs 1%. If nothing changes, less than 1% of people will own nearly all wealth, protected by AI systems, while the other 99% are left behind, unemployed, unheard, and unsafe. This isn't inequality, it's digital apartheid. Humanity's last line. We are the final generation that can steer this ship. We will be remembered either as the guardians of human dignity, or the ones who watched it vanish in silence. Together, we rise. Divided, we disappear. Nobel Peacekeepers, Guardians of Humanity and Peace. The Nobel Peace Prize has always honored those who protect humanity from catastrophe, be it war, nuclear weapons, climate collapse, or injustice. Today, a new threat rises: unregulated artificial intelligence. And a new generation of peacekeepers must rise with it. The leaders who bring forth ethical AI laws, those who stand boldly for humanity in the face of machine-driven chaos, are not just policymakers. They are the guardians of humanity and peace. A Nobel Peace Prize could one day honor those who advance the Progressive Payroll Responsibility, AI Accountability and Digital Ethics Act for Human Dignity and Livelihood Protection, the PRAIDE Act. The atomic bomb parallel, a warning from history. In the 1940s, scientists accidentally discovered nuclear fission, a breakthrough they didn't fully realize would lead to the most powerful weapon ever built. They weren't trying to end humanity, but the world soon did. In 1945, atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Cities vanished. Generations were scarred. One scientific discovery triggered an irreversible arms race and left a moral wound that still haunts us. Today, AI is our digital bomb. It doesn't explode, it infiltrates. It replaces workers, erodes trust, and rewires reality, without regulation, without conscience. This time the detonation won't be limited to a single place. It could unravel what it means to be human, socially, morally, spiritually. We made one irreversible mistake with the atomic bomb. Let's not make another with artificial intelligence. Part 6. Occupation. Specific appeals. Your role in this fight. Lawmakers, parliamentarians, prime ministers, presidents, your job is to govern in the interest of people. Audit AI systems. Demand transparency. Regulate the use of personal data. Sign the PRAIDE Act. Your silence is complicity. Speak now, or let democracy fade. Entrepreneurs, CEOs, business leaders, you may be chasing efficiency, but remember, no employees, no economy. Investing in people is not charity, it's survival. Reinvest in human skills, empathy, and innovation. Don't let AI wipe out your customers, along with your staff. Wealthy, billionaires, and investors of the world, this is your fork in the road. Fund sustainable futures, not digital destruction. Choose legacy over quarterly profits. Or you will be remembered as those who watched the world burn from behind glass walls. Judges/lawyers/legal experts, don't let AI rewrite the meaning of truth. You must establish rules for digital forensics, synthetic media, and AI impersonation. Justice must evolve, or it will vanish. Bankers/finance leaders, protect your systems before AI breaches them. Cyber theft, algorithmic crashes, data corruption. These are no longer hypothetical risks. Call for robust AI regulation in financial markets. Doctors/nurses, health professionals. AI may help diagnose, but it cannot care. Demand ethical standards for mental health tech, telemedicine, and predictive diagnostics. Protect patient dignity and mental well-being. Police/defense/security forces. AI is now a weapon. Misinformation campaigns, autonomous drones, facial recognition abuse. Regulating AI is no longer just about jobs. It's about national security. Educators, teachers, professors, school leaders. You hold the future in your hands. Teach students to think critically, not just prompt efficiently. Education must be human-centered, not AI-centered. Parents, mothers, fathers, guardians. Look into your child's eyes. Fight for a future where they can dream, explore, and find meaning. Don't let AI take away their chance at purpose. Creators, celebrities, filmmakers, musicians, influencers. Your art shapes culture. Your voice moves minds. In a time of rising artificial intelligence, your platform holds the power to awaken the world. Without your voice, the dangers of unregulated AI may be ignored, fueling misinformation, confusion, and a loss of human connection. As storytellers, directors, writers, and performers, you have a rare opportunity and responsibility to reveal how AI is shifting from artificial to assassinating intelligence. Your films, music, and narratives can expose how this silent force is eroding creativity, dignity, and truth itself. So speak out. Use your platform to tell stories that inform, engage, and mobilize the public. Spark a cultural awakening. Demand ethical AI. You have the audience. Use it to protect humanity before it's too late. NGOs/activists, civil society, must lead where institutions fail. Raise awareness, protect the vulnerable, and build ethical guidelines from the ground up. Be the alarm bell and the safety net. AI developers, coders, engineers. You are not just building tools, you are shaping destiny. Refuse to build destruction. Create ethical, inclusive, and transparent systems. Write code that protects. Students, don't surrender your originality. Use AI as a tool, not a crutch. Be curious, be bold. Learn how to question, not just automate. Spiritual leaders, to every priest, imam, monk, rabbi, guru, pandit, granthi, spiritual teacher, and sacred guide, remind us that our humanity is rooted in spirit, not code. The soul is beyond simulation. In this digital age, your voice must rise as the moral compass that keeps us grounded in compassion, wisdom, and truth. HR leaders hiring is not just a task, it's a social contract. Reject fully automated selection. Value empathy. You are the guardians of dignity in the workplace. Mental health experts, psychologists, therapists. Your role is more vital than ever. Digital isolation breeds despair. Be the frontline defenders of emotional health in an increasingly synthetic world. Comedians/artists, laughter is rebellion. Truth told through humor is a weapon against manipulation. Satirize what AI distorts. Entertain, enlighten, and expose. Part 7. Final message to the public. Global unity. This battle is not just for leaders or experts, it's for you. Your voice matters. Your vote matters. Demand ethical AI. Join the call for the PRAIDE Act. March. Speak. Create. Because if we don't rise together, we fall, alone. A critical message to the general public: your voice is powerful and urgently needed. The future of your job, your rights, your children's well-being, and the stability of society depend on the choices we make today. There will be voices, driven by short-term greed, that claim artificial intelligence is harmless. They'll say it will create more jobs, that concerns are overblown. Do not be misled. AI is transforming the job market at a breathtaking pace. Left unchecked, it will lead to mass unemployment, rising inequality, and the collapse of social systems. AI is not a simple tool. It is a force more dangerous than an unmonitored nuclear reactor, more disruptive than any natural disaster. And yet, it's being unleashed into the world with almost no oversight. We regulate nuclear weapons, aviation, and traffic systems. AI demands the same level of responsibility. Licensed, limited, and closely monitored. You have the power to prevent catastrophe. Vote for leaders who pledge to regulate AI. Demand laws that protect workers, dignity, and future generations. Hold those in power accountable. Stay informed, stay vigilant. Share this crucial message with everyone who can make a difference. Friends, family, co-workers, educators, legal professionals, business leaders, social workers, community organizers, celebrities, and elected officials. Your voice, combined with theirs, is essential to secure humanity's future. Every voice matters, especially yours. The time to act is now. Delay means irreversible damage. This isn't about some distant future. It's the crisis happening right in front of us. Let's act before it's too late. Together, we can steer AI toward a future that uplifts humanity, not one that erases it. Frequently asked questions. Won't forcing companies to spend 30 to 50% of their revenue on payroll hurt their profitability and competitiveness in global markets? Short-term profit cannot be allowed to override long-term survival. A business that thrives while society collapses will not survive either. This act rewards companies that invest in people with tax incentives, and penalizes those that externalize the cost of automation onto society. Stability, not unchecked automation, is the foundation of every thriving economy. The PRAIDE Act balances innovation with inclusion. Isn't it unfair to dictate how private companies allocate their revenue? Societies already regulate businesses through environmental laws, minimum wages, anti-discrimination laws, and taxes. When automation creates mass unemployment and collapses the tax base, governments must act to prevent systemic breakdown. PRAIDE is not control. It's a firewall against collapse. What if watermarking technology can be bypassed or spoofed? Then we need legally enforceable frameworks and strong forensic tools. Imperfection is not a reason for inaction. Like digital rights management, DRM, technology evolves, and law must evolve with it. Not acting ensures mass confusion and deepfake abuse. Won't watermarking or labeling all AI content slow down creativity or innovation? Not at all. It simply introduces transparency. Just as food labeling doesn't stop chefs, watermarking doesn't stop creators. It empowers audiences to know what's real and what's synthetic, a foundational requirement in democracy, journalism, and human trust. But many AI systems are proprietary. Why should governments demand audit rights? Because any system that makes decisions affecting lives, from loans to parole to education, must be accountable. No private algorithm should be above public justice. We demand this in food, drugs, and aviation. AI must be no exception. Isn't banning deepfakes in political communication a restriction on free speech? No, deception is not free speech. Deliberate misinformation, impersonation, and manufactured lies endanger democracy itself. The PRAIDE Act does not ban satire or expression. It bans deceptive AI use in political or public contexts where people's rights and votes are at stake. Won't these restrictions stop innovation and delay technological progress? The goal isn't to stop progress, it's to make it ethical, human-centered, and sustainable. Innovation without accountability leads to collapse. Progress that destroys jobs, truth, and mental health is not real progress, it's societal decay. Can't the market regulate itself? Why should governments interfere? History has proven that unregulated markets lead to monopolies, exploitation, and collapse. From banking to pharma to child labor, regulation exists to protect people from runaway power. The same must now happen with AI. Isn't this too early? Shouldn't we wait and see how AI evolves? It's already too late in some areas. Deepfakes are spreading, jobs are vanishing, mental health is plummeting. The atomic bomb wasn't stopped, it was contained. We must do the same with AI, not out of fear, but out of responsibility. Won't these regulations hurt small businesses and startups who use AI to survive? PRAIDE Act doesn't punish AI use, it guides it. Small businesses committed to fair employment will benefit from tax incentives. The Act discourages reckless automation and rewards balanced, responsible innovation. Can one country's law change global AI misuse? Isn't this too idealistic? Every global movement starts somewhere. GDPR started in the EU, and today it shapes how global tech handles privacy. The PRAIDE Act can be Canada's gift to the world, a model law that inspires global standards. Are you trying to take money from rich companies and give it to the poor? We're trying to protect the system that allows those companies to exist in the first place. When the middle class disappears, when people can't buy, vote, or dream, there's no market left. The PRAIDE Act isn't wealth redistribution, it's economic preservation. Isn't this all too radical? Can humanity survive without such strict controls? This is not radical. What's radical is allowing machines to replace meaning. Let's limit our greed, not our humanity. The 1% cannot thrive if the 99% collapse. This act is not about control, it's about conscience. We created AI to help humanity, not to replace it. Won't AI create more jobs in the long run, as every new technology has done in the past? While AI may create some new specialized roles, the reality is that it will eliminate far more jobs than it creates. Unlike previous technological shifts that displaced certain types of labor but created entire new industries, AI has the ability to replace human intelligence itself, across white-collar, blue-collar, and creative fields. It can perform multiple roles at once, with speed, scale, and memory no human can match. The number of AI-related jobs created will be in the thousands, but the number of jobs eliminated will be in the millions, possibly billions, as AI becomes embedded in every sector. This imbalance will lead to mass unemployment, growing despair, and social unrest. When humans have no role in the economic ecosystem, society as a whole collapses, including the very corporations and governments that enabled it. No one, from the poorest to the wealthiest, will remain untouched by the ripple effects of this collapse. Why is AI regulation the highest priority? Because unchecked AI poses an existential threat. It rapidly destroys jobs, drastically increases inequality, inevitably leads to social unrest, and risks the collapse of established governments and democratic institutions worldwide. Without regulation, the very fabric of society is at risk. What is the payroll responsibility policy? This policy mandates that companies allocate a significant portion, 30 to 50%, of their revenue towards human payroll, rather than solely towards automation or shareholder dividends. It's paired with a tax framework. Companies exceeding this threshold receive tax incentives, while those falling short face penalties. This encourages sustainable employment, prevents mass job displacement, and ensures that technological gains benefit society broadly. Why are tax penalties for companies/organizations necessary? Companies generate immense profits by operating within our society, using public infrastructure, resources, and a trained workforce. When they automate jobs and reduce human payroll without contributing proportionally, they externalize the social costs onto the public. Tax penalties ensure corporations contribute fairly to the society that enables their success and help fund vital public programs and worker retraining. What happens if regulation is delayed? If regulation is delayed, we face an almost certain future of social collapse, characterized by widespread violence, extreme economic crisis, and the fracturing of democracies. The window for effective intervention is rapidly closing. Inaction guarantees an irreversible descent into global instability and human suffering. How will social unrest affect business? Widespread social unrest, fueled by mass unemployment and desperation, will directly undermine business operations. Protests will disrupt supply chains. Rampant crime will make communities unsafe, and widespread poverty will decimate consumer spending. Businesses cannot thrive, or even survive, in a chaotic, lawless, and impoverished society. What can entrepreneurs do? Entrepreneurs must make a conscious, ethical choice to invest in human workers, not solely in machines. They should actively support robust government regulations that promote ethical AI. Entrepreneurs must become outspoken advocates for responsible AI deployment that serves all of humanity, ensuring their innovations contribute to a sustainable and equitable future. How does AI threaten justice? AI enables the creation of hyper-realistic deepfakes and fabricated evidence, which can flood courts and be incredibly difficult to disprove. This overwhelms justice systems, causing delays and eroding public trust in legal outcomes. Why act now as parents? AI job loss threatens children's futures with instability and poverty. Delaying regulation risks condemning the next generation to hopelessness. How can media help? Media professionals must use their influence to educate the public, expose risks, and advocate for ethical AI policies. But shouldn't people just upgrade their skills and learn how to work with AI? Isn't that the solution? This idea is popular and dangerously misleading. Yes, upskilling is always valuable, but AI is not just another tool. It is a replacement system, capable of learning, thinking, creating, coding, designing, diagnosing, predicting, and even emotionally mimicking, faster, cheaper, and more efficiently than most humans. If today's global population is around 8.2 billion, AI will soon enable the equivalent output of 800 billion digital workers, 100x the productive capacity of humanity. So even if every human on Earth became an AI engineer or prompt specialist, the reality is, what would they produce that AI hasn't already produced better and faster? This is not like the shift from typewriters to computers, or from horses to cars. In those transitions, humans remained essential. But in this revolution, AI is automating not only manual labor but also thinking, creativity, and problem-solving. If AI creates the music, writes the code, paints the artwork, generates the marketing plan, and builds the tools, what role is left for billions of humans? Advocating that everyone simply learn AI is a cop-out, often repeated by greedy tech evangelists and corporate defenders who want to justify mass layoffs and wealth concentration, while blaming victims for not adapting. Let's be honest, most people cannot become AI engineers. Not for lack of effort, but because not everyone has access to elite education or tools. AI is already doing many of the AI-related jobs itself. The economic demand for human input is shrinking, as AI efficiency grows the result. A surplus of upskilled humans, with nothing meaningful to do, while machines continue to dominate creation, execution, and decision-making. This is why the PRAIDE Act exists, to protect human purpose, dignity, and economic inclusion, before society becomes permanently dependent on machines that do not need us. Response to those who say, just upgrade your AI skills. With all due respect, this is a tired excuse. A cop-out, used to dodge real responsibility. The idea that 8 billion people can just learn AI and thrive in an economy run by 800 billion digital workers is not a solution, it's a fantasy. AI is not a tool anymore. It's replacing creators, coders, thinkers, and strategists. Even the people building AI are being replaced by AI. So what exactly are we supposed to upgrade into, when the machine is doing it all? This kind of argument only benefits those sitting at the top, tech monopolies, shareholders, and policymakers avoiding regulation. It's time we stop blaming individuals for not keeping up, and start holding systems accountable for designing a future that excludes them. If you truly believe in justice, you'll stop repeating this hollow line, and start talking about ethical AI, accountability, and human inclusion. If our organizations or companies' profits are limited, how will we grow? Isn't endless profit necessary for progress, expansion, and security? No, true growth isn't about endless profit. It's about meaningful purpose and collective well-being. Let's ask a deeper question. What will you do with infinite profit? Once every product is built, every service is delivered, and every sector is saturated. We already live in a world where every essential manufacturing industry exists, from defense to consumer goods. Every service sector is operational: education, finance, logistics, media, healthcare, IT. There is no real shortage of ideas, tools, or systems. What we lack is fair distribution and ethical intention. Beyond a certain point, infinite profit serves no purpose. It does not create more value. It simply concentrates wealth, locks it in banks, and withdraws it from circulation where it could have helped others. And what happens next? The economy breaks under hoarded capital and artificial scarcity. Social inequality explodes into violence, unrest, and revolution. Your children may inherit wealth, but not a safe, stable, or human world in which to use it. If society collapses, if ecosystems crumble, if trust dissolves, then what good is your empire? Real growth now means circulating wealth for sustainable innovation, investing in education, ethics, and ecology, building resilient communities, not just resilient margins, designing systems where purpose outweighs profit, and humanity outweighs power. This is not about limiting ambition, it's about redirecting ambition toward what matters most. Because in a collapsing society, no one wins, not even the wealthy.